Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for The Monkey, a film by Oz Perkins, who last year gave us Long Legs, which I thought was okay with Nicolas Cage. I thought was a little bit overrated. I enjoyed it, but people seem to like it. Did pretty well in the movies. Of course, I guess it's based off a Stephen King book, who's Stephen King synonymous with horror, along with producer James Wan, who's also synonymous with horror. He's one of the best minds in horror. This one's a interesting story here, to say the least. We got Theo James, who plays two roles here. He's actually him and his twin brother, who as young kids, they, I guess, find an old relic from their father who left them when they were really young and it's not really part of their lives. And this one of those wind up kind of monkeys that hits the drums, the kind of creepy looking things. And apparently, unbeknownst to them, when they wind it up and it plays the drum, somebody dies randomly in a weird, interesting, and at times funny way. And when they realize what's going on with the monkey is tying down to all these killings, they decide to bury it, put it away, whatever the case is. But lo and behold, 25 years later, this monkey rears up its ugly head and body stop dropping again. And one of the brothers is trying to figure out how to stop it or put an end to it, etc., etc. As he has now his own son who he's trying to protect from this monkey's. I guess this, I don't really call it a possessed monkey or whatever the case is. It's not fully explored in the film as far as what it is. It's just we know it hits that drum and bad shit happens, and it really bad shit happens. Listen, this is I honestly don't know what to make of this film. I'm confused in my way as far as how I feel about it, because it's not going to be for everybody. It's weird, and I'll say this. I'll start with the good, because the thing that drew me to it, I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks like a lot of bodies dying, killing, straight up kind of horror thing. I'm all over that, and there's not much horror in this film. This movie's not really a horror movie, but there are a lot of cool death scenes, right? Kind of reminiscent of like something like Final Destination, I've heard, and I guess that's a kind of a fair comparison, where once the monkey hits that drum and people die, you want to see how, what manner and over the top and ridiculous these deaths are, but there is fun to it, right? There is fun to the over the top kind of graphic nature of this, and even at the end, it's like as outlandish as it gets with the death scenes and what this monkey, I guess, the weight that leaves behind it. It's ridiculous, but in a good way, and that really kind of made this movie fun. However, the story is, I don't know what, and it's just I'm not sure what this movie was trying to say or do. I was hoping to be a little bit darker, edgier kind of film, and it ended up being kind of comedic, and I can appreciate that. And I was laughing at times, but I think it undermined overall the horror aspect that it should have had, right? And that just kind of a letdown, because this movie with this many deaths could have been something like more synonymous with Saw, right? But it's not in terms of the tone. It's definitely more comedic, definitely out there. And it's by the production, Neon Production. So Neon's almost like A24. They do a lot of interesting kind of artsy kind of films. And this was kind of in line. Even Long Legs was kind of an artsier film, more in the vein of Silence of the Lambs. But I thought that was a better film than this in terms of this movie, because it had more of a story. This one is just, I don't know what it's trying to accomplish at times, and it's so ridiculous. And I know this one character is introduced who's obsessed with the monkey for some unknown reason, and I don't know why he's in the film other than just have a cool death, and that's fine. But this movie kind of slows down a bit after a time, and the only thing really worth watching in the film is the kills, right? A couple of comedic moments, but which I did laugh, but it's so over the top, you almost kind of have to see it if you're into that thing. But if you want good storytelling, something a little more straightforward, I say stay away. But if you like the more unconventional kind of film, this may be up your alley. But even still, I just want to recommend watching it at home and get a couple of drinks. Depends where you live. Smoke a little doobie, get yourself in the mood, and put this movie on. You're probably gonna be laughing and enjoying yourself, as long as you're expecting something just silly, simple, and over the top, and it does serve that purpose. Beyond that, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm still like, what the hell was I watching? It's not what I expected. I didn't hate the film. I said I'd have fun with it despite all that, because whatever, nothing else, at least it gave you some cool death scenes, and they were funny, and again, so over the top, you just laugh, right? And that's what you're there for. And from that sense, I was entertained. so be it. Story be damned. You know, sensical writing be damned. It is entertaining for what it was, for what it's trying to do. So if that sounds like your jam, by all means, check it out. Go watch it. Again, if this sounds a little bit too unconventional, I get it, and you probably stay away. But if you do watch it, let me know your thoughts. I'm kind of curious how what people think about this one. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.